Speech off.
Hey everybody. Okay, so I'm a little ticked off. I won't. Okay, let me start this off by saying I am not the best person in the world. I have a lot of flaws, and I know that sometimes I do stupid shit. Okay, but I've been taking a lot of shit from people I shouldn't. And it's like I don't mind being there for someone, especially when they're venting, they're spouting off the mouth, they're going off, they're saying what's on their mind, which I'm totally 100% supportive of, because you gotta take it, you gotta let it out. But what you fail to realize, and the only reason why I'm coming on here is because I saw a glimpse of me in someone else today, and I was like, damn, and when you can't choose when you learn your life lessons, you just can't. When you finally realize it, you've been doing it for years and never thought twice. But there's a fine line between venting and just fucking anger venting, because you say a whole bunch of shit, man. You let it all fall out. You say it with passion and dignity, because you're filled with so many different emotions. Rage is one of the big ones, especially if you deal with anger issues. And I was I'm not gonna say was, I am short-tempered, but I've learned how to control it. And that's how I know I've grown, especially if I handle a situation a little different than I would normally. So, short story, a friend of mine and I kind of got into a heated argument. But the thing was, from their standpoint, it was nonsense. I can't even put myself in that perspective in that sense, because okay, so let's just say I got mad at Philip. Okay, Philip pissed me off. Philip did this, Philip did that, and I was enraged. So I called Marcy. And I told Marcy about it. And I told Marcy, about Philip and how Philip is driving me crazy or whatever. Or, these are fake ass scenarios, but you kind of get my drift. Okay? But I don't stop there. I contact everyone on my contact list. And this is why I say it opened my eyes to some shit, because I used to be that way. And it wasn't until recently honestly, I just shut it down. I stopped telling everybody how I felt, stopped telling everybody, my business, and that became an issue. But see, it was all hunky-dory when my shit was all on Facebook and all over, the internet, my podcasts, my fucking broadcasts, everything was cool as long as I was spilling the drama. But the moment I took the drama out of the situation, views dropped. One, that's alright. Not really in it for the views. This is my spout off channel. Um, but, you know, a lot of people stop dealing with me, and that's okay. Because sometimes you have to weed them out, man. You have to see it for what it is and not what you want it to be. You know, but this one, like, normally it would fucking hurt. But all this did was irritate the shit out of me because I'm like, bruh, you know, I see it from the other person's perspective. And, you know, hey, some people cut ties with me because I was that brutally honest. And I didn't have a fucking filter, you know? But I've come to realize you don't have to totally bash someone to get your point across. So let the anger filter out, but don't say what those anger things are telling you to say. Don't listen to those angry voices. Don't respond with aggression because it's just gonna escalate, bro. So, you know, they always say, oh, kill them with kindness. You know, I never really fucking thought of that because I'm not that type. If I have a problem with you, I usually just fucking tell you. But I've also learned how to wait on it. Because okay, let me give you a picture or a way for you guys to understand where I'm coming from. All right. So it would be like in the moment, especially when it just happened, you know. And I mean, if y'all follow me from back in the day, you already know, okay? But this is all for the new listeners, all right? It would take one thing, and boom, I'd fucking crack off. I'd go beyond the realms of where it needed to be because I was just spouting out how angry I was. And there was times where I was angry yelling, like angry ranting, screaming on air, you know. And yeah, my listeners dig that. They thought it was funny, but you know, it painted a picture that necessarily you don't want, you know. And then you get looked at like, oh, she never takes things seriously, whatever, you know. But it was like in that moment in my life, well, for several years, I lived in anger. It's something I carried around, and life is changing for me now, and I'm not as frustrated, I'm not as angry. And I think before I say sometimes, there you'll catch me off guard because, you know, you can't change the type of person you are. You can change your habits, you can change the way you address things, but certain things, yeah, you know, especially if it's something that's affecting my family, I'm gonna say something. But when it comes to me, I take a lot. And, you know, yeah, I am very short fused. I won't lie. But it takes me a long time to get there to where I can't fucking turn it off. You know, and I started realizing having people in your life that cause you to hit your extreme, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. And, you know, but what bothers me, I guess what bothered me the most was I had nothing to do with the problem. I was not a part of the problem. I was not a part of the issue. I was there listening. Oh, my stupid TV is talking shit now. I was there listening, trying to be there for a friend. But then, you know, it was just, I don't want to get into too much detail because it's just stupid, but, you know, basically, you know, we were cracking jokes, and then all of a sudden, it got flipped and was like, oh, blah, 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 fuck you, and I'm like, wait, slow down, get off the roller coaster, you know, and this person does this to me all the time, you know, like, everything will be cool when we get off the phone, and the next thing you know, maybe 10-15 minutes later, I receive a text, an angry text at that, and I can definitely empathize because I've been there, but not once did I flip it onto someone else. That's where we're different. I didn't take it out on that person that I was venting to. You know, yeah, they've said some things, you know, like, especially when you're confiding in someone, you know, they're going to give you their perspective. You know, it's very rare that you find someone that'll just let you, you know, fucking cant off or just, you know, kick the bucket without having some feedback. And I've been blessed with some pretty cool guy friends who kind of, you know, keep me level-headed, because I'll spout it out and be like, okay, what do you think, you know? Hi, Alex. So, I mean, it's just crazy shit. Like, it's like, I didn't give my opinion because I definitely knew if I had, it would have blew up a lot bigger than what it should have been. And there was times tonight where I text something and I was getting ready to send it, and I was like, fuck it. No, I'm not going to go into this, because all it's going to do is going to cause us both to ignite. There's going to be a big ass explosion, and then the next thing we know, we're both just, we hate each other. You know, and I didn't want to go down this path, because it's like, I don't hate the person at all. I have no, there's no disrespect. You know what I mean? But at the same time, I'm dealing with a lot. And I've been juggling a lot for this person, trying to make something out of it, and not focusing so much on the things I want to do. I mean, you know, the things that I enjoy doing, my hobbies, my, you know, especially my book. I'm really excited that I decided that I'm gonna fucking do this shit, you know. And I put the book aside. You know, a couple times I had writer's block, and plus I didn't have my computer, so I was like, I don't want to launch into this, because I'm such a neat freak when it comes to that. I fucking have to have it lined out a certain way. I gotta have my notes. I gotta have this. I gotta have that. So, you know, some of it I put off. But a lot of, like, when I finally got my computer, you know, yeah, I wanted to write it, but I had made obligations. And I'm that type where if I say I'm going to do something for you, or we're going to work on something together, I do my half. And if you don't do your half, I'm just like, well, we can't make a whole, you know? And that's something I started continuing. Like, I started following through with shit, because you get to a point in your life where you're like, okay, I tried this out, that flopped. I tried this out, that flopped. And then you get to the point where you're like, all right, so where am I gonna put all my effort? And I enjoy writing. I really do. And yeah, it's a little bit out of my realm of understanding, because I'm used to poems. I'm used to, you know, stuff like that. This is my first attempt at making, like, an actual full-on developed story. You know what I mean? And I'm not perfect at it. I don't know what the hell I'm doing, but I'm enjoying it while I'm writing it. I'm enjoying the descriptions. I'm enjoying, you know, stuff like that. So I'm enjoying things. But when I put all my effort into someone else, I'm robbing myself. And I had to be selfish tonight, and that was something I'm not used to doing. Something I'm not used to, I'm used to just shut up and take it. No, I'm tired of that. I left my old life behind because I was tired of doing that. I was just tired of taking it, and I was tired of, all that crap. So if I continue to do it, that means all that hard work that I put in the last 5-6 years was for nothing. I went through some fucked up shit. You know what I mean? I went through some fucked up shit the last couple years, and I'm finally leveling out. I'm finally getting to the point where I'm me again. I may not be as aggressive, and yeah, my reputation was pretty ruthless, but I've kind of grown from that. And it's one of two things happens. Either you grow up and you move away from that shit, or you decide, hey, I'm comfortable here, I'm staying there. And a friend of mine said something about, oh, you'll ruin your image if you try to bring something different. No. Scrap that. Because, okay, for example, Matthew Santoro. I don't know if you guys check him out on YouTube or not, but pretty cool content, okay? And yeah, when I first started watching him, it was like fun facts, and then there was just some funny shit he threw in there. There was some scary shit. And so I got to the point where I was expecting that from him. But then he started revamping his channel. And I was like, ugh, what is this shit? And then I was like, you know what? Let me just sit down and watch it. I might like it. But that's the whole point of being an artist. Because these people on YouTube, they're still an artist. There are different types of artists. There's talk show type. There's, music. There's, you name it. Gaming. Everyone has their own art. And they have to find what makes them want to keep doing it. Because if you're not doing it for the right reasons, you're not going to enjoy it. So always, not so much reinvent yourself, but keep your options open. Don't stick to one genre. And that's a metaphor that I'm using for life. People can change. It's if they want to, is the question. Because I could have stayed in that fucked up roller coaster and stayed angry. But what would that got me? Honestly, let's just be real about it. Where would that got me in life? Nowhere. No, where would that get me in life? God. Anyways, but like I said, even though you're on the path of finding yourself, doesn't mean you're ever finished. You find half of yourself, and everything tries its damnedest to nick away at it and delete it from you and erase every little part of you that could actually succeed. And I think I've referenced this before, but it sticks. There was a woman when I was going to CSN to get my GED. She said, honey, don't you know every time you get close to your destiny, the devil is there to deter you? That's why it's so hard to get what you really want. And it does make sense, but, I'm not super gung-ho religious, but it does make sense on how when something you really want and you keep working at it, and there's all these damn roadblocks. Are you strong enough to get over those hurdles and keep going? Is it worth it to you? Is that what's going to make you happy? You know? So, it's like, to see a part of myself in that other person was like, damn. You know? And at first I was going to get all down on myself. I'm like, you know what? No. Because I handled that shit in a proper manner. Regardless of how much fire that person threw at me, they still got a very simple response. So, when you recognize that you're growing and you're becoming a better person, congratulate yourself. Don't get snarky about it. Just be like, damn, dude, you got this. You know, you have to prove it to yourself, because you don't need to prove it to anybody else but yourself that you can do something. And that's where self-worth comes in, you know. And yeah, you may need help here and there, but the point is, you tried. That's the whole thing, is you actually tried. And you know, yeah, it's a controversy thing, like, oh, you shouldn't try, blah, blah, blah. But the point is, you put in the fucking effort, dude. And if you made it this far, keep fucking pushing through. Because there were so many times you could have just laid down and gave up forever. But something kicked your ass into gear. Whether it be a person, whether it be a situation, doesn't matter. But, you know, celebrate your progress. Celebrate the fact that you didn't fire off and say some fucked up shit just because you knew it would hurt somebody. It's not a cool way to live, man. And I really hope I never go back there, because the frustration that lived in me was horrible. So, but anyway, that was kind of what I was aiming for. You know, and just remember, you can't take on somebody else's stress and somebody else's problems if you can't even juggle your own. So focus on you, you know, and remember that you're not the only person in the universe. And the world does not revolve around you or what you want to do with your life. You revolve around the earth. So you have to figure out how you're going to maintain in the middle of that. Alright, guys, well, I'm going to pass out. I just need to get that shit off my chest, because I was just like, what the fuck? Anyways, I hope you guys are doing great. That sounded so legit, right? You guys are doing great. Anyways, remember to always keep an open mind and try something new. I mean, what's it gonna hurt? Like, seriously, your reputation? Ooh. Anyways, I'm out of here, guys. Peace.
Speech on.